Right now at 6, new details about the man accused of murder on a Max platform. What we're learning tonight about his criminal history when it comes to TriMet. Plus, new surveillance video captures the moments before 3 Portland police officers shoot a man wanted for robbery.
4 or 5 rocket shots, like boom, 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 boom.
And a New Year's resolution, 15 years running.
I love running. I think running is a gift.
One woman's incredible streak and why she's motivated to keep going. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin at 6 with brand new details about the man accused of stabbing and killing another man near a Max platform on Christmas Eve. Court documents now revealing he was on probation for another incident involving a rider, one that happened at another Max station less than a year ago. Let's get right to Ashley Graham's live tonight at the Goose Hollow station. Ashley.
Well, David, this is the Max platform where that 23-year-old man was found with a stab wound, and court documents say he was bleeding profusely. Now, Portland police have his accused killer in custody, a man who has a history of harassing people on the Max trains. On Christmas Eve, 23-year-old Juan Oriana Gavarrete was stabbed near the TriMet Max platform at Providence Park in downtown Portland.
That's the crazy part. Christmas Eve, really? You're going to say, let me stab someone on Christmas Eve?
Portland police say Oriana Gavarrete died after being taken to the hospital.
On Christmas Eve or any day, we don't want people to be losing a life.
2 days later, Portland police arrested a man accused in his stabbing death, 22-year-old Idel Cruz Aragon. We're now learning that suspected killer has a history of harassment involving another Max train. According to Clackamas County court documents, Cruz Aragon was on board the Max Green Line platform at Clackamas Town Center in February of this year. Documents state he was yelling toward the conductor cab while he cornered the passenger in the corner of the Max. Then they say Cruz Aragon followed her off the train and pushed her from behind. On December 7th, Cruz Aragon pleaded guilty to harassment for the incident and was on probation just 3 weeks before he was charged with stabbing and killing Oriana Gavarrete.
We do have over 8,000 cameras across our system. When something happens on TriMet, it's probably going to be captured on camera.
TriMet media manager Tia York says they're working closely with police and are thankful officers caught Cruz Aragon.
I have seen some of the aftermath on social media, and it's very graphic. It is absolutely devastating, and our thoughts go out to the people who were, to the person who died and their loved ones.
Cruz Aragon is being held in a Multnomah County jail without bail. He's set to appear in court on January 5th. David?
Yeah, Ashley Graham's in Southwest Portland. Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate that update. In your headlines this evening, Portland police say they have confirmed a suspicious death last week in the Selwood Moreland neighborhood as a homicide. A week ago, some people working near Southeast Lynn Street and 19th Avenue found the body of a man. Police have now identified him as 39-year-old Darnell Davis. There are no specifics on how he died and no word on any suspects. Also in Southeast Portland, police are asking for help solving a fatal shooting. Police say somebody shot and killed 49-year-old Michael Hart near Southeast Main and Water. That's in the Buckman neighborhood back on December 6th around 2 in the afternoon. Hart also went by the name Nomad. Authorities say he'd been camping in a tent. Investigators say they're particularly interested in a trailer which was moved shortly after the shooting. They say they believe the person associated with that vehicle may have critical information. In Moscow, Idaho, the home where 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death last year has now been demolished. Crews started tearing down the house around sunrise. It had been donated to the university, which decided tearing it down during winter break would have less of an impact on students. Both the prosecution and defense recently had access as the case against murder suspect Brian Koberger proceeds. Prosecutors are pushing for that trial to take place next summer. In Eugene, the longtime newspaper Eugene Weekly has abruptly stopped printing and laid off its entire staff. It's after discovering it was the victim of embezzlement. The Weekly did not share the identity of the alleged embezzler, only saying it was done by, quote, somebody we once trusted. The paper says the years-long scheme was discovered just days before Christmas after finding out that vendors had been unpaid for months. Payments to staff retirement account payments had been diverted. Now the paper is deep in the red. Some staff have vowed to keep the paper going and to rebuild. Police have also opened an investigation. And City Commissioner Dan Ryan says some major improvements are on the way for University Park in North Portland's Portsmouth neighborhood. The work will be funded by one-time fees on new development. Parks and Rec will be seeking input from the community on priorities over the coming months. They anticipate project plans will follow after that. Work is expected to be completed by sometime in 2026. Matt?
Thanks, David. You know, we've had a few showers today. There's still a few out there. You look at Doppler radar, though, there's really no organization to the rain that we get. It's just kind of a mishmash. So, yes, we've got a few showers out there now, but they're going to be decreasing during the overnight hours. So we catch quite a bit of dry weather on Friday. We'll look for the rain to increase as we go into Friday evening, but you can see to the south and west, there's a little bit coming into radar range in southern Oregon, but a nice break in between that. So we've got some fairly tolerable weather coming our way. Even out in Newport, it's 52, mild, the winds are light, and it's not raining, at least not at the moment. Now, one thing that we've been watching is very big swells along the Oregon coast and offshore. Yesterday at this time, the buoys out here were rolling about 24, 25 feet. Now they've dropped down to 13, 14 feet. So the seas are settling down a bit, and the high surf advisory has been allowed to expire, but still never turn your back on the ocean if you're going to be out at the beach this weekend for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So the headlines look like this: decreasing showers tonight. We'll have a dry start to the new year and a dry finish to this one. And still no big mountain snow, at least not through this weekend. We'll see if there's any potential for more snow next week. David?
Yeah, we will see. Thank you, Matt. To newly obtained surveillance video now, which shows the moments before a deadly police shooting on Wednesday afternoon near Southeast Portland's Mall 205. That is where investigators say officers shot and killed an armed suspect wanted on an outstanding warrant. Kyle Aboshi's in the newsroom with more on that video and the latest on this investigation. Kyle.
David, police tell me there won't be any additional updates until two things happen, really. First, the autopsy. They also need to notify next of kin before the suspect is publicly identified. But new surveillance video does help give us some perspective. Around 3:45 Wednesday, a man can be seen running through the parking lot at Mall 205 in Southeast Portland. We've slowed that video a bit. Police say the man had an active warrant for his arrest and had been spotted trying to shoplift from Target. When officers tried to arrest him, he took off. In the video, you can see 5 police cars. Officers have guns drawn. Police say there was a confrontation and officers fired shots. The suspect died. No officers were injured. Investigators say they located a black semi-automatic handgun next to the suspect. They released a black and white photo of the gun. A spokesperson said they didn't want to release a color photo because blood is visible. Police haven't said if the officers involved knew the suspect had a gun when they fired. A man at a nearby business described hearing the gunshots.
And I heard maybe 4 or 5 loud pops, like a gunshots. And I got scared and I like, what's going on?
The parking lot at Mall 205 was back to normal today. It was busy. The 3 Portland police officers involved, 2 from the focused intervention team and 1 from East Precinct, have not been publicly identified. They'll be on paid administrative leave during the investigation. That's normal procedure.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that context. You're watching KGW News. Coming up, some might call it shock, how much you can expect your power bill to go up in the new year, and why business for local vape shops in Multnomah County come Monday morning could go up in smoke.